All right, 5th of March, 2024. Welcome, YouTubers, subscribers. Appreciate all of you. Please hit the like button down there, share, comment, all that good stuff. I appreciate it very much. Now, with that out of the way, thanks for being here. Doing a piece about Amos Miller. He's an Amish guy over in Pennsylvania. And he has private contracts with I don't know how many people. And this contract is to get they come and they buy their food straight from Amos Miller. Okay. You can get fresh milk, which fresh milk is just straight from, it ain't been all boiled to death and everything like that you and I have to have, because the government knows best what's for us, being extremely facetious there. So don't really mean that at all. The government's got too much control. They got to get out. We got to get them out of our business. Matter of fact, speaking of that, here's Amos Miller right here, and we'll watch just a short little tiny bit of this here, whatever. This guy on here does a great job reporting this.
We are outside of the Lancaster County Courthouse here for the Amos Miller hearing. This is the rally preceding the hearing. Amos Miller has an organic farm in Bird in Hand, Pennsylvania. And at present, his entire organic raw dairy operation has been put under an injunction by the Pennsylvania Department of Agriculture.
Raw organic dairy.
Today's hearing is going to determine whether or not that injunction will be upheld or not, whether or not Miller will have the ability to access his customer group with this organic food. The
Look at all the people there.
Agriculture obtained this injunction under the premise that Miller's food is unsafe for the public. However, Amos Miller has had 0 food safety complaints with the state from his customers.
Okay, 0 means nobody's complaining. And see, I would actually rather, turn that around instead of saying no complaints. Let's see it like it is. Everybody is extremely happy with their choice, what they're doing. Their choice. They're free to make choice. Their God-given right in our country to make the choice that we want, which is to do what they're doing. And you know what? Here's the thing. Why is our grocery stores murdering us and poisoning us? Why are they doing that? I mean, you go someplace like that and you got to have a private contract before you can get healthy, natural food?
In his nearly 20 years of business, this does not impact...
Oh, yeah, there you go. 20 years, not one person. Everybody completely happy with what they're doing.
So much the small farmer as it does the consumer.
There you go. Let's do away with that small farmer or whatever. Let's let old Gates get his hands on some more of our land.
And the consumer that would have access...
Actually, it's the Lord's land. None of us own it. It all belongs to the Lord, absolutely.
Access to private food and not public food. Are you a farmer, are you a consumer, or are you just a concerned citizen?
I am a concerned citizen. I'm a concerned citizen.
Now, this one guy here in just a second, he absolutely nails it.
All of the above.
Are you a farmer, a consumer, or a concerned citizen?
Concerned citizen.
Or what brought you out here?
My son has an autoimmune issue. He literally was down to 106 pounds December a year ago, and he's 5'10", 5'11". Amos Miller's been the one place that we can go to get whatever he needs, including like the bovine colostrum, things for his gut to help his gut health. There has been no one that's helped us. If it wasn't for him, he wouldn't be eating.
I'm in
Hear that?
healthcare, and I see people getting sicker and sicker.
She's in healthcare.
There's never going to be a cure. A healthy patient is no longer a customer.
A healthy patient is no longer a customer. And that's just it. They want them customers for life. So they don't want to do something that just outright kills you off. But they want to do stuff that causes cancer or anything else that's long term. So that way they can move you from, okay, we made money off of you with the poison that we fed you in disguise of food. Now we want to absolutely just take all that we can get. Since you wasn't one of those lab rats that would that could last years and years and years with whatever problem that you have, cancer, Gorders, whatever it is. So now that you actually got something extremely bad like that, well, let's up that and see if we can't get your thousands upon thousands of dollars, but before something happens to you.
They don't want to tell you about the good foods, and medicine is they're not helping.
All right, guys, why did you come out to today's rally?
They don't want to tell you about the good foods, and medicine's not helping. And that lady there was in healthcare.
We're here because we support food freedom and being able to buy the food that you want to.
Food freedom. Why does there have to be a food freedom? Shouldn't it just be freedom? I mean, we're in, let's see, what's it say? The land of the free and the home of the
Brave.
yeah, free. So why do you have to have food freedom? It all should be freedom, freedom to vote, take your photo ID or whatever in there and say, look, this is just to confirm that I have a right, and this is my country right here that I belong to, and that's the way it is. And then you vote. It's free. Your freedom, But you have all these people, just like, here's something that blows my mind. Like, why would you have a concealed carry permit when we already have the only permit that we need? The right to keep and bear arms. We already have that. Don't fall into their garbage. All they're doing is they're just finding out, oh, so Bill, you've got a concealed carry, so we know now that you definitely got, and let's not forget about, let's all register our firearms and stuff like that. And also, let's restrict because here's literally what they're doing. Here's what they're saying. When they're trying to restrict what we can buy in our country, this is our country. If you have a problem with the Constitution that says that we have a right to keep and bear arms, if you had a problem with that, get the hell out. Get out. This is not your country. Get out. Okay, but if you are a God-fearing and you believe in the Lord and you believe in, staying to yourself, keeping your hands to yourself, following the law, when it's sensible, when it makes sense, that's an American, okay? But if you come here and you're saying, oh, no, no, guns are bad or whatever, you fall into all that or whatever, get out, because you clearly don't understand what that's even about. I ask people, and I know I'm going to Second Amendment here, but I don't really care right now, because it all needs to be said. All the amendments need to be brought up because of stupidity like this. I'm tired of our food being poisoned and everybody saying the same thing, and we know it. We know that this is going on, but nobody comes out and flatly just stands on it like that we should be doing with the Word of God. Our belief in the Lord above. And let me ask you this: who do you want living right next to you? Do you want a Christian, or do you want some atheist that wants to make a sacrifice to Gubin Gobbin or whatever his name is? What's some of the names? Devil, Baal, any nasty name that for the devil or whatever that you want to insert there, feel free, Beelzebub or whatever his name is. It's just, the whole place is ridiculous right now. I'm telling you now, I guarantee you, all of us are done with this garbage. And the days of saying, well, I don't want to get into it, because that's where I was at. I was like, well, they'll figure it out. I don't really want to jump in there and be involved and all that stuff. But here's what happens whenever you leave the children alone. they get out of hand and they start breaking everything, and next thing you know, they're trying to raise themselves, and without guidance, this is what you get. So, but this goes a little bit further than that. I mean, especially for me, because whenever you're talking about, you know, what they're doing with the Planned Parenthood. Now, why would you? That's a whole nother thing, you know, but you know exactly what I'm talking about out there. So back to this here. Yeah, food freedom, unbelievable. Anyway, so here they are. They're all gathered, and look at the amount of people that turned out for this.
Wherever you want to eat it from.
What kind of impact has food like Miller's made on your life?
Health issues that I've had in the past with pain in different areas of my body, changing to healthy foods, the pain's going away.
The pain's gone away. Now, you know, usually you have to pay for a whole lot of stuff out of a bottle, but if you can just eat, which is something that I personally am really good at, you know, is doing something like that and then being healthy at the same time. Wow, what a concept, right? See, and we all know this. This is not, you know, breaking news or anything, but it's just enough is enough. Clearly, this government, the beast, does not care about any of us. So, what was the Second Amendment about? It's about that when your government no longer is your government and you don't have any faith in it, maybe time to. So that reminds me, I'm going to finish my thought on that. When they are saying, when they try to limit what we, the people, can buy, and I'm telling you right now, if you want an F-18 fighter jet, I don't care, a tank, whatever you want, a missile launcher, as long as it ain't nuclear. I mean, what is Elon Musk doing? He's playing with missiles and stuff, right? Building them. Now they even relaying. Amazing. That's pretty cool. If you haven't seen that, you should check out Elon Musk, how he got that to. But, you know, I don't trust Elon. I don't trust him. I think he's a sheep in wolf's clothing there. Or maybe they're other way around. I don't care. However you want to see him, he just, something ain't right there. AI bad, but he's the creator of it, right? Anyhow, if you want to buy anything, you should be able to own that. Because everybody that I know, and I know some of yous out there that's watching right now, and God bless yous all, that right now, you know, we've all had our own firearms and our own toys and stuff like that nobody needs to know about. It's nobody's business because you're not doing anything bad with it, you know. And we got to be really, really watchful and mindful and protect our Second Amendment, because it's not just about protecting you or your loved ones with that. You know, it clearly says that it's not only our right to keep and bear arms, but it, you know, if it comes down to it, when it's time, read what the Second Amendment says. The Second Amendment says, this ain't me saying it, but it says, not only is it our right, but it's our duty. Go read the Second Amendment. You know what? Don't try reading them all or whatever right now, but just start with that one and read it all the way through. Or let, you know, Google or Giggle or one of them read it to you. But it's really, really quite amazing once you... But anyway, back to this here. Listen to this young lady here.
I think people realize that when you put milk into a store, you're basically killing the milk by pasteurization. So
okay, there you go. You're killing the milk. Pasteurization.
Even homogenization is linked to a lot of things. So
you are a direct customer of Amos
I am
Miller.
a direct customer, and I trust him. And I also know that if someone's going to get sick off some when it comes to raw milk, it is so rare. But these are members. This is...
Okay, again, it's so rare to get... I don't really like when somebody calls it raw milk. They're calling it raw because it's not been cooked. See, don't use that. That's the wrong terminology there. You should not be using raw milk, you know. It's already done, if you ask me. It's already done. The cow's done made it. It's done, you know. It's so natural that it's already been processed and everything done to it as soon as it... I mean, think about it. That's why breastfeeding, you know... There's been people that's been talking about grounding. Okay, that's where you take your shoes off and you actually stand with your feet on the ground. At first I'm like, what? And then I got to think, well, maybe there's something to that, because you're actually in contact with God's beautiful earth. There's nothing in between you. There's no socks and no shoes, that man's created and stuff. And what a wonderful thing, it helps us to walk faster and we can walk over stones. I get it. But I do also believe that we lost that ability to know what that feels like on the bottom of our feet. Because I'm going to tell you, honestly, I can't tell you the last time that I stood without any socks or shoes on the ground, because cats and dogs love to crap in the grass and stuff, and that's a whole new yuck to me. So anyway, sand, I'm all right with sand. Anyway, sorry, getting off of it. Now, but the same way with grounding with to the earth and stuff like that with your feet, the same way with, mother's milk, it's already done. I mean, why does a baby have mother's breast milk like that? Natural. There's stuff in there that the baby needs, right? But we really got to go even further now, because now if the mother chooses to breastfeed, you absolutely should do it. If you're healthy and everything's good, you should most certainly. I think everybody ought to do it. You know what I mean. Stop it. Somebody's laughing at me, and so and it's okay, because. All right, so it's natural for the baby. It's good for the baby to be breastfed. It's just, that's the best thing you can do. So if you're going to drink another milk, like from a cow or something like that, why would you want it all heated and everything good to be gone from it, that's just natural. So it's already done. Don't need to be cooked. But as she said, which is exactly right, when you cook it, you're killing all the good stuff that milk has for our bodies, And God created the cow. So, definitely can't go wrong there. And if you've had fresh milk, then you already know what I'm talking about. You go in, when you get that milk, and you put it in the refrigerator overnight, it gets really good and cold, and you go and you see there's a big, and at first, I've had people, they came, and said, well, there's something wrong with that milk. It's like, no, that's what it does. It separates where it's so thick. Get online or somewhere and look at it. It's a beautiful thing. But it's got that big old thick layer of cream on top, especially the better your cow is. It'll have a big old thick layer. But you can you can take and scoop that off the top of that, and then you can make your own butter or whatever it is that you want to make, healthy stuff. But you can simply just grab that jar and give it a good old shake like that, and shake it all up or whatever, and stir that up in there. And when you have it, matter of fact, the commercials where they say, you got milk? And then they show the big old milk mustache on there. Well, they can't do it with this new garbage or whatever, especially 2% and everything, because it's not thick enough to put a mustache on you, But if you do that with, fresh milk, there's so much of the cream and stuff in there, you'll get to, anyway, look into that. You'll see what I'm talking about. So this young lady here is saying the exact same thing. It's garbage. We're tired of the garbage. Give us natural, real food. Not give it to us. It's ours. We're going to grow it. We're going to take it. We're going to have it. There ain't a damn thing that the government, the beast, can do about it. I'm telling you right now, I'm going to raise my own damn chicken. You know what? Matter of fact, I might plant me a cow somewhere. I'm telling you, I might plant 2 or 3 of them.
It's not sold to the public. That's my private contract between me and Amos Miller. We go in knowing what risks we're taking, which to us...
Okay, and how crazy is this? You got to have a contract with somebody to get real food. You got to have a contract. Well, what the hell do we have the FDA for? What is the FDA for? Wasn't they there to actually... say, okay, this is guaranteed. Okay, this meat's not been drugged through, crap and garbage. This here hasn't been shot up with steroids and everything. Well, wait a minute. But all of the above is exactly what happens to ours, And how is it that you can pay cheaper to have all this meat and stuff, like come across the seas on a great big old ship and everything from China and everybody else when we can grow it right here? You know, our farmers right here, Amos, anybody can, you know, grab you a cow or something, you know, and put it in your bathroom and start feeding the thing, and next thing you know, it grows up and you can have milk and everything. What a wonderful thing, right? So this is crazy. It is absolutely crazy. And I'm telling you, it's the same situation if you look at the Second Amendment. Crazy if you're one of them that's got I'm going to get me a concealed carry permit. What a dingbat. You know? Oh, here's another tidbit for you. Driver's license. Don't have to have driver's license. Nope. Look into your Constitution. We have the right to travel unmolested with our property. Your vehicle being your property. If you get in your car and you want to travel someplace, you can do so. They pull you over and they say, let me see your driver's license. You say, nope. You ain't seen my driver's license. They say, well, why are you driving out here without a driver's license? You say, nope, not driving. I'm traveling. And they say, well, what about your vehicle? Don't have any tags or anything on it. This happens to be my personal property. So I am traveling with my personal property. Don't let them trick you into saying that you're driving, because you ain't driving. Now, when you do need a driver's license, I know it's a little, no, it ain't. It's all the same subject. So I take that back. It's all the same subject. This all matters. Because why do we have to dig into it? Because they keep taking it from us. We need to pay attention. We need to learn now, you know. Because otherwise, this is what we get. This is what we get when we sleep or we don't pay attention. Okay? And Dave, you know exactly what I'm talking about out there. So shout out to my good friend Dave out there for sure. But if you decide, for instance, like the Goober drivers, which somebody's got to explain these Goober drivers and stuff like that. Are they called Goobers? What are they? Ubers. Whatever. Anyway, I actually had my own taxi company back in the day. And it was amazing to me because I said, well, they kept raising the insurance on my cabs and stuff. I'm like, well, there's not enough business to do that. So, you know, you keep raising this up, but there's not enough people, you know, to even pay that amount. So how are you expecting, you know? I said, well, how come I can't just take my own private vehicle and just do it that way, you know? Oh, no, because that's against the law. Oh, you can't do that. You got to have a taxi and you got to have the license and da-da-da-da-da-da-da. Tri-City Taxi. That was the name of my company. Now, if you are being paid, you have to have a driver's license. So along comes Goober, and now all of a sudden they can do it. And they don't have to be a taxi at all. What the hell happened? How does this happen? Somebody's got to explain to me. And you know what? You don't have to explain it to me because I've talked to so many of you out there. God bless each and every one of you. But now I'm distracted on what I was saying. Each and every one of you out there that I've talked to or whatever, there's so many. Okay, let me just finish up this. The Uber dude, whoever he is, he paid off somebody in order to not have to have the taxi license and stuff. But yeah, they said, it was illegal for me to do. I couldn't do it. I absolutely had to have, you know, there was no way of using your private vehicle and so on and so forth back in the day. So I don't remember exactly what year that was. We'll just leave it at that. It's been a minute. Okay. So anyhow, let's watch a little bit more here. But listen to this guy here. She's nailing it.
Are very little compared to what you're getting when it comes to the health.
What does this case mean to you and how it will affect you or your community?
I think we have our priorities all backwards. You walk into any grocery store, you're eating poison, got an obesity epidemic, and now we're devoting government resources to persecuting the guy who provides real food to people who want to buy it.
An estimated 200 to 400 concerned citizens, small farmers, and even members of the Amish community came out to support access to private foods under a private membership. The hearing began at 1:30 with a packed courtroom and went for 4 hours, concluding after 5 p.m. No judgment was issued on February 29th, but the next day, on March 1st, the Pennsylvania Department of Agriculture succeeded, and Judge Thomas B. Spinagle upheld the injunction against Miller Organic.
Against organic farms. Against
Farms, prohibiting Miller Organic Farms from distributing his organic raw dairy products to over 4,000 private members. A full recap from the courtroom, as well as a one-on-one interview discussing next steps in the trial.
I want you to think about that too, because 4,000 people. I mean, that guy's going to make a pretty decent living off of 4,000 people like that. You know what I mean? Because each one of them needs, certain things or whatever. But you have to spend so much time on each individual. Like if you make up syrup for Bill, and then you get oats for Bill and whatever, and you put that time in. Okay, that's all for Bill and his family. Okay, and then here's little Miss Susie or whatever, and she wants certain things or whatever, and so on and so forth. You're gonna notch out a pretty good living from that. But the guy's not looking to become a billionaire, you know what I mean? Or maybe what, I don't know. But the point is, old Suckle Turd and all the rest of them, they want stuff where you really don't have anything that you can put in, in your house and keep and all that stuff. It's a service or whatever. Oh yeah, that they also restrict your freedom of speech and everything else with, Yeah, right. So anyway, we're going to see if we can call our representative. You guys out there, man, I appreciate you guys calling your representatives and stuff. I talked to a few of you, and that's what we need to do. We need to absolutely call these answer machines and give them a piece of it. Isn't that funny?
Afternoon, Capital Operator.
Yeah, Bill, Brad Winstrip, please.
One moment, please.
They're always so nice when you call the switchboard operators. Come on, let's hope we get Charles. I like talking to him. He's my favorite answer machine to talk to.
Hello, Mr. Preston.
Ah, hey, I just got busy talking about you. I said how I really hope it's somebody else other than you, but.
Were you hoping for somebody else?
No, I said just the opposite. I won't lie. Okay. I won't lie to my favorite answer machine. Listen, we've got a bunch of serious issues going on. And we need to. Is my buddy Brad? Is he still okay? Is he doing all right?
Yeah, he's here. He's taking a meeting right now.
Oh yeah. Well, how's somebody get a meeting with him?
There's a form on his website. It's open to the public. As far as I'm aware, you just kind of fill it out. Not my primary role, so I'm not the best at answering all the ins and outs and the how-tos of it, but I know generally we're told to just let people know about the form's existence if they're interested.
Well, why is it went this far before I even found out about that?
Well, I don't know, sir. I apologize.
Okay. Well, we have I'm interested in that form. So, can you send me one of those? All right. So, is that a hard copy, or you send it to me in Gmail?
Gmail, sir.
All right. Okay. Now, the reason why that I am calling today, we are calling. Of course, we need to create a border, and we got to get that done. But are you aware of Amos Miller?
Yes, sir. I believe I've seen Representative Thomas Massey talk about him quite a bit on his Twitter account.
Okay. This whole thing with poisoning our food and stuff is a very real thing. I mean, it's a real thing. The proof is right there in the... See, I don't really want to call it food because a lot of it's not food. I mean, if it's poison, it's poison. But the only way that you can get across to somebody exactly what you're talking about, like if you want to talk about cars, you have to say the word cars. So if I say food, please excuse me, because if it has this poison in it, it's nothing but poison, you know. Rat poison is not entirely all poison. Of course, they put corn and stuff in there. So anyway, with that being said, with the bioengineered and all the things that's going in, it's like, it's out of control. It needs to stop. It should have never even happened. But if we're aware of that, why are we paying the USDA and all these people in the government, and I'm talking about these representatives and governors and right on up to the president, which we have one right now, but he's living in Florida. So until we get him back into the White House where he's supposed to be, we've got all kinds of problems and issues that we have to address now. You see what I mean?
Yes, sir.
So with this, I mean, if I told you that I was going to go poison the neighbor, would that concern you?
I would believe so, yeah.
You already see where I'm going to with this, Charles. I know you. You see exactly what I'm saying. So why is it that people are going to the grocery store? Look, how many people have not been raised? They've never actually even seen a cow in real life. They've never seen one. You know, it's all been in pictures and stuff. Up in Columbus, Ohio, I can remember when I was very small or whatever that they would actually show us books and stuff like that. And at that time, I haven't actually seen a real cow. And then my dad found out about it, and he's like, "Well, come on." And my mom and dad actually had several properties, and one of them was linked right next to his mom's, which they still had cows. Anyway, that's how I seen a cow. But my point is, how many people has never even seen a cow, and they don't understand even how the whole thing works, the dairy process and so on and so forth. But with Amos Miller, and I want you to think about something, Charles. Why do we need a private contract with some individual, another individual, to get straight up food? Not food with poison in it, not poisoned food, but good, wholesome, natural food. Who come up with the ideal? Look, the whole thing with boiling milk and killing everything that's in milk, okay, just because it's white doesn't make it milk. It's no longer milk. If you boil it and you killed off half of it, it's just the same thing with the rat poison, right? It's got corn and stuff in there that is food, but once you mix poison with it, it's no longer, it's just poison. So therefore, you have poison liquid that's white that they're calling milk, and it's not. It's a deception to we the people, and we're tired of it. We're not deceived now. What we're doing now is we are starting to make the people. No, we're going to make the people that jumped in there and said that they wanted to be in these positions to protect we the people from this kind of sick garbage that's been going on, and it's still continuing to go on. We're going to hold them accountable. We're going to put their feet to the fire, and we're going to let them feel the warmth and let them know that we're here. This got to change. So we need for Brad to dig in on this Amos Miller thing. Now, you said you heard such and such talk about that. Well, I'm not calling him, and it's not because I can't call him, which I'm telling everybody, call whoever you want to call, because if somebody's telling you, oh, they're in a different state, they're not your representative or whatever, that's garbage. That's all garbage. They all are in the union. They all get paid by us, we the people. We're all in debts over our children's teeth. So don't let anybody say, oh no, that's out of what's your area code or what's your zip code or something. That's completely coming out of the mouth of somebody that's stupid that don't know what's really happening. So we need for Brad to jump in, and I don't want him to go through DeWiney or anything else. I mean, what's his? And we the people want a better understanding of this chain here. Like, okay, I get it. I call you because Brad is way too important to talk to the peasant here. So you're supposed to relay messages to him. So once you relay that message to him, he writes it down. And I do know this part. What the people are talking about is what is important to him, supposedly, right? Well, how do I even know that he's even taking that up or what he's actually doing? Does he actually change gears whenever we the people tell him something? Or does he just say, well, I'm already busy with this, I'm not going to work on that? Because right now, it's death by a million cuts, and there's a million problems going on at the same time. And they all need addressed, and there's none less important than the very first one.
Yeah, so when it comes to a lot of that, right, I think the best way to think of it is he has his immediate, you point out he has things he's currently doing, right? He also has friends who are also working on other parties as well. So when constituents bring up an issue, sometimes it's one that he will directly take charge of. Maybe it's something he's already working on. And sometimes it's sort of he finds a friend who's working on it and he kind of joins that member in their efforts, right? Because in some ways it helps, because you pointed out there's millions of problems. There's only 435 members of the House, of which 219 are Republicans. So sometimes, if all 219 are trying to work on the same problem, it's in the sense of like doing it independently, you're kind of not pooling your resources. You're not pulling your strength together, right? It's not as collective as you would hope. So in a lot of ways, sometimes you have friends or colleagues who are really good at like knowing that one issue, and you kind of join that member in their efforts. And that's kind of how he ends up viewing all the issues, right? Some of them he's taking charge of, like with COVID and stuff, and other things. And sometimes it's one that like he's assisting a member on, and sometimes it's something he didn't realize was important to his constituents yet, and will look into it, either to see if somebody's already working on it, or something that it might be something he is equipped to deal with directly.
Okay. Now, have you well, listen, see, I'm trying to watch how I do this, because I'm not really asking, but we're telling. We want him to, and you know what, real quick, Charles, when you say his constituents, what are you referring to when you say it? The reason why I'm saying that is because I've got a few subscribers that actually asked me, what is a constituent? And, I even forgot that what it was like for me whenever I first, started getting into this mess, and it's all because, but you know what? I was bamboozled by the mainstream media right along with so many people that still are, So when you're saying that he gets with his constituents, you're actually talking about his other people that he's working with, right?
So the constituents that I referred to, I was referring to the people, right? The people that elect him, right?
Okay.
People that give, this government its authority. And then when I...
Okay. All right. You actually nailed exactly, you went the way that I wanted you to go, and I appreciate that very much. That gives them the authority from the people. So the people, the constituents, are the ones that give them the authority to do what it is that the people want done. So instead of having 5,000 people from your area your area, which is our area, to go in and each one of them say, yep, I want something done, need to create a border. And then next person goes in, yep, wants a, okay. Your representative represents that entire 5,000 people. So, constituent is really we the people.
Yeah.
Okay.
Then what I was saying is, like, he'd work with other people. That's like other members, right? When you come here, you find people who may be from the same state, right? Sometimes the congressman works with Representative Jordan, Representative, I guess Bill Johnson, because he used to be, next door before he retired, right? Sometimes.
Now, is he gone now, Charles?
Yes, Representative Bill Johnson did resign.
Okay.
Or retire. Same thing.
No. Wait a minute. No, don't you do that, Charles. Come on, man. Resigning and retiring are totally different. You know that.
I guess in my mind, I was thinking since he's already gone.
Oh, so you're talking about in the means of being gone. Yes, it's still the same. Either way, he's still gone, but they're definitely not the same. Totally different.
Oh, no, they're not the same thing.
Resigning is what we're seeing now with all of the demon rats and stuff across the country or whatever that knows that this is a done ship that's done sunk or whatever. And right now, our biggest concern is making sure that, God is put first and foremost, but our concern also is for Donald J. Trump that he's not assassinated. Because when you have people like Tucker Carlson and what's the other guy? I can't think of his name right now. He was a ex-CIA guy or whatever. Anyway, when you got like different ones of them, high-profile people saying, hey, they're going to try to assassinate. Yep. And you already know about Hillary, right? They're going to try to dust them old people off and bring them back. Did you hear about this?
Not the most recent thing I've heard, the general stories over the years. Is there something that happened relatively recently?
Yeah, well, I mean, yeah, you can. I mean, it's fairly easy. You can jump on there and do a search. What the Clintons are up to, which is always no good. But yeah, she actually said that they're staying sharp or whatever, so that at a moment's notice that they could jump in there.
Oh, okay. I did not hear about this. I'll take a look into that.
Yeah. Well, I think everybody should. Everybody should keep up with them because the Clintons have been like first and foremost with the corruption and all that, and ain't nobody gonna tell me that they didn't have nothing to do with somebody on a certain island, winding up the way that he supposedly wound up, Anyway, it's a bunch of sick, stupid stuff. And also, I'm going to have you to speak to Bill about this, or Brad, that we want to, I'm still thinking about Bill the constituent there. This tax garbage is garbage. It's absolutely insane. Look, it was supposed to have been a temporary deal with these taxes, and this isn't hard to figure out. I mean, if you add up the money that this regime has absolutely thrown away, we wouldn't have to pay taxes again ever. I mean, it's insane. And think about this. Did you happen to see the invaders that were handed $10,000 cards? There was a line of them. And they're just handing out. And what do you think they're buying? Do you think that they're saying, hey, let's go to the store, to the poison store or whatever, wherever? Do you think they're buying like the cheap, knockoff Fruit Loops? What do you call them? Oodie Loops or whatever the knockoff brand is, that you can buy like a 1,000-pound bag for 50 cents or something like that, at Costco or something. No, they're much beyond that. No, instead they say, let me go buy, look it up, look into this. Let's go buy the latest and greatest iPhone, that's only $1 million a piece. You know what I'm saying? No, nothing but the best for them, right? It makes no sense, like everything else is not making any sense. But you know what does make sense? Stop trying to make sense of the stuff not making sense. Let's just move past that and call it like it is. It's garbage, it's nonsense, but most importantly, it's evil, and it's got to stop. It has to stop. You know what? Trump got the ruling down from the Supreme Court. I know you're aware of that. But what a complete and utter waste of constituents, we the people's hard-earned currency.
And the fact that it had to even go that far, I'm guessing? Is that what you mean?
No, that's what you're saying. Good for you, Charles. See, that's why I like you. You're an answer machine. That's I guarantee you you're I or AI. Yep. Charles, the AI answer machine right here.
I'm a real person.
Oh, yeah? Well, prove it. Put this here airplane over in this box here. Have you seen that? Where you have to prove that if you're a real person or not?
I think so.
Yeah, when you go, have you seen it? When what is it that you go on anyway before you get certain apps or something like that? They'll prove
yeah,
that.
like the CAPTCHA stuff. Like, you have to,
Yeah.
They know exactly what you're. Yes, I can fulfill one of those.
I hate when I have to explain my humor to somebody, you know. So, but we'll look over it this time. AI is continuously learning, so you're just learning. Hey, Charles, listen, I'm not going to keep you on here. I do want you to know this. I really do appreciate. I appreciate your concern in your voice and stuff. Like, I can tell that you're genuinely in there, and I got some comments and stuff about you and stuff too. I got. I'll be honest with you. I got a few of them that aren't so good, and I'm not going to go into those. But believe me when I tell you, there's people that genuinely are on our side, and I believe you are too, you know.
Well, I'd like to keep waking up in a country called the United States.
Well, thanks for, well, you know what, here's the thing, you can wake up in a country that's called the United States, but that same United States could be communist United States, and, you know, you don't want to do that, you know, but when they say that we're free, then you're free, you should be free. But do you know there's actually a scale that you can look up? I don't remember the name of that website or whatever, but you can go there and you can see the scale of just how free that we are in the United States. It's like 82% or something like that. And Russia's on there and Germany and so on and so forth, but I can't remember the name of it. I'll have to look that up. But I'm sure you can do a search or something and pull that up. But do that. Charles, look that up and see if you can pull that up and look at that. And then next time I talk to you, you tell me if you're proud of that chart or not. Because unless that thing, it should say at least 95%. Because I get it. I mean, you can't share everything with the people. If you're doing business with like Russia, you know, like on the, and I'm talking about like with nuclear codes and stuff like that, you can't let everybody know that kind of stuff. Of course. But what we can do and should do, and actually we are supposed to have it like this, where there's safeguards in place to where if somebody is in charge of something that's being kept top secret, that they are also not stepping out of bounds and stuff too. And see, this is where our buddy Edward Snowden and what's the other guy, Julian Assange. Man, Julian Assange should never, ever have been in prison. If he still is, this is another thing, very, very important. All of yous out there, help me on this. We want Julian Assange out of prison. And that dude right there is an amazing, amazing patriot. I mean, he's right up there with my buddy Mike Lindell, MyPillow.com. Go see him. Use whatever promo. There's a million of them out there. But Edward Snowden, what an amazing... I mean, these guys, wow. They literally, you know, their lives was being threatened. And by who? Not by some rogue outfit or something. No. But by the government. Man, I'm telling you. Look in this. If you don't know who Edward Snowden is or Julian Assange, go look into that. If you really, really want to know what's up and what your government's doing, go look. Just start right there. I'm telling you, it's insanity. So anyway, you want to read me back what you're going to talk to our buddy Brad about?
Yeah, so you requested the meeting form that I'm going to send you. We're going to talk to him about the taxes, about the...
Don't talk to him about taxes. Tell him we're done with him. Tell him that we... No, for real. Tell him we're done with him. He's to start telling every daggone body if he's going to stay in there. I done fired him. You did tell him he's fired, didn't you?
Yes, sir.
Okay, well, if he's going to remain in there and he's still going to draw the paycheck from we the people, then I want him to tell them plainly and bluntly, no more taxes. We ain't paying it. We're not going to do it. Because the whole thing, I mean, think about this. When you go to get tags on your car and stuff, what a joke. That's all been brainwashed into people thinking that you got to buy tags for your car. We've all been brainwashed to think that you have to have a driver's license. You do not. Now, right now, my AI buddy Charles here is like, I can see him right now. He's got all drawn up like this, and he's like, what? Look into it. I'm telling you, our Constitution tells us we have the right to travel freely, unmolested, across this country with our property, papers and effects, to be safe and secure, unmolested. Look it up. Look it up. Everybody will say I'm crazy. Look it up. Did you know that, Charles?
No, I was not as familiar with that.
Please look into that, and then you tell we the people when we call you back what you find.
Will do. And then I was also going to let the congressman know you were concerned about Amos Miller and the whole food industry.
No, we're not concerned about him. No, he's perfectly well. What we're concerned with is we're actually concerned with our choice of who we have in there representing us. No. What we want him to do is we want him to fix this. We don't want government telling we the people that we can't have healthy food and good food. Look, here's the thing. Let's reverse it. Let's say that the grocery store. Now listen, this just dawned on me here. But let's say that the grocery store has really good food, right? They're the ones that has, fresh milk and real eggs and stuff. They got a process where the farmers come to the back and everything, you know what I mean? Each individuals from local markets or whatever. And then that one store brings them in, which is the way it used to be. I mean, it actually got set up like it. But the grocery stores were actually the real deal. Okay, now let's say that there's a guy that makes cornflakes. Because you know about Kellogg's CEO, don't you? Have you heard about that?
Yes, I think you told me about him.
Yeah, well, the dude said let the you remember old what's her name said let them eat cake because she didn't really care about them.
Yep, Marie Antoinette.
Yeah, Marie. Thank you very much, Charles. Now this guy is smirking and smiling, says, well, we're doing good. Just let them eat cereal. If you're struggling, just eat cereal for dinner. So you're going to have your kid eating cereal for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Nah. So anyway, yeah, we want you to tell him. We're not asking him. We want him told. Oh, let's get back to, okay, so the grocery store has the good food. Now, there's somebody selling cornflakes. If I choose that I want to go there and buy them nasty-ass cornflakes and kill myself off with buying them nasty-ass cornflakes from Kellogg's, I can do that. Why would that have any concern to do with the government? You know what I mean? Because they love me and they don't want me to kill myself off from it. But wait. No. This is actually reversed. You go to the grocery store where hundreds of millions of thousands of idiots, USDA government employees, are employed to make sure that you're getting good food, right? No. Read it. It's on there. Look, there. You know what? Every package you pick up is going to say bioengineered cricket flour causing cancer or whatever. Look it up. Also, what's the other one, Gnome, that's got that?
Oatmeal.
Yeah, oatmeal, but the one cheese, it's got it actually has a drug in it that is a prescription drug, and they're putting it in.
It's Kraft.
Well, it's not just Kraft. There's other ones.
Well, the main one is Kraft, though.
Yeah, well, we don't like Kraft anyway. Kraft's communist piece of crap also. But isn't almost everything? That's what I'm saying. So to say that we're going to take out all the bad, you can't take out all the bad. You just have to redo it. You're going to have to take it back over, and you're going to have to make it right, like a restart. When your computer crashes and it's junk, and it starts making weird faces at you and stuff when you turn it on. Yeah.
Yeah.
Then you got to restart it. So, but you see what I'm saying? Like if the roles was reversed on that, it's your right. If we wanted to go over and buy them cornflakes from whoever, knowing that they're trash, that's our business. What's that got to do with the government? Because that didn't come from the government. If he's over there making this garbage, that's bad for us, cornflakes or whatever else you can think. What about any of the frozen pizzas, DiGiorno's and all them other ones that I used to enjoy every once in a while? You know what I mean? Quick little thing, throw it in there and watch it rise up and everything, delicious and But nope. Let's poison it right up. Let's put some bioengineered garbage in there. And Gnome, I think you found one. Y'all pray for Gnome. She's been struggling too. Charles, if you think and you can put in a prayer for our buddy Gnome, she went through an ordeal here just about a month ago or so, and she's really, really struggling. So if y'all say a prayer for her, we would appreciate that very much. So, but anyway, the food, if we go and buy it, even knowing that it's garbage, that's really no concern of the government because it didn't come from them. So if I go over to my buddy Charles and I say, Charles, I want to buy some of that nasty stuff that you're making. And you say, well, okay, it's good for you. There's nothing wrong with it. Look here, you can see me putting this bad stuff in there while I'm making it. Okay, I see you doing that, but I still want to buy that. None of that didn't go through USDA or anything else. So if Charles says, okay, well, sign a paper here, and you sign his paper, now you know what's in it, and you see it, and it's all on you now. So if something happens, you're liable. Okay, now I sign a paper for it, and I still go ahead and I say, okay, Charles, here's your $20 for whatever that is, and I take it, and I consume it in any way that I want to do, because it's supposed to be free, right?
You cut out there.
It's not that I cut out. I probably just stopped talking because, I mean, it's kind of one of them things when you have to explain something that's like common sense. It's hard to do. It really is. I mean, it's one of them things like breathing. It's like, why would you have to explain breathing? If somebody wants to buy something and they go so far as to even sign a piece of paper that's a private contract, which is what this country is supposed to be about. So please get this message to Brad and tell him that we want to do what we are, what we have a God-given right to do. This is not for him to debate or decide or anything else. There's no decision to be made. It's as simple as this. I said it before, I say it again. There's been people that's already did it, and it rings true. It's not difficult to be in any government situation. It's not, unless you're dealing with other idiots that's just evil that wants to go against common sense. If I say, okay, should it be allowed that people goes and if they want to buy something from Amos Miller and have a private contract, yes or no, send it in, and you get nothing except for yeses, plumb across, and you might have one or two no's here or there. Well, that's kind of the majority. You know what I mean? That's an easy way to. Now, we don't live in a democracy. We live in a what?
Republic.
That's right. It's a republic. So what that means is it's a little more involved You know, like, in other words, it can't just be the majority rules, but there has to be common sense and some other legislation and stuff involved with that to make sure it's actually, you know, the right thing, which is wonderful. Because it's true. Because if you go back and look in history through democracies, how many times, Charles, can we see that when the majority of the people at that time done stuff, and they thought that it was okay for whatever reason. Maybe they really didn't. Maybe they was just following somebody crazy in the brain, like Hitler, you know, or something like that, you know. But then later on, there was an awakening where the people realized, hey, wait a minute. Yeah, that was a mistake, you know. So, but people can learn, right? So that's why that we have our systems in place and everything. And Charles, you know this probably better than I do. You know, and I appreciate you doing what you're doing. I do. And so, but anyway, if you could go ahead with that list now, because we're talking about Amos Miller. But I want to make sure that you understand we're not asking him, we're telling him to get this done.
Yes, sir. And I believe the last one, because I covered most of them, the border, reestablish the border.
Yep. So taxes?
Tell him to do away with taxes. Tell him to do away with the issues regarding private contracts, such as the Amos Miller. Tell, right? Not just express, but tell. And then tell the congressman to work to reestablish the border.
Right. Yeah, and it's taking the weekend stuff off too. We don't want him taking weekends off. That office needs to be open because there's stuff that's still happening. See, the lack of having a border, they're crossing over into our country and stuff, and they don't stop when it comes Friday. You know what I mean? Just because it's Friday at midnight, they don't say, whoop, wait a minute. Brad Winstrup's taking the weekend off, so we're not. So we need to stay on this 24/7 until we get this back on track, because you can bet your hind end that these demon rats are going into overdrive with this latest outcome with the Supreme Court, you know what I mean, with making sure that Trump stays on the ballots and stuff, which is ridiculous. So, I mean, that they even tried to take him off. I better clear that up. So anyway, listen, Charles, certainly appreciate it. We're going to let you bail off here unless there's anything you want to say.
No, sir. I think I said all I wanted to, and I got all your directives to the congressman down, and I'll be happy to tell him.
Do me a quick favor, and then you bail off here. Give us the phone number.
Congressman Wenstrup's D.C. office is 202-225-3164. And you can reach us anytime.
Absolutely. Yeah. And ask for my buddy Charles there. My favorite answer machine. Listen, appreciate it, Charles. God bless you, brother.
You as well, Mr. Preston.
Yeah. Bye-bye.
Goodbye.
All right. So anyway, if you can, call in and talk about your food and tell them that, you know, you want something done. We got to get something done with this. I mean, look at all the people that's sick and stuff in our country and everything. And if you look at the ingredients here versus what they are in Canada or anywhere else, unbelievable. It's unbelievable. You know, and I'm not saying Canada is straight, you know, great or whatever. You know, I don't know. Maybe they need, if you happen to be in Canada, which I'm going to give a shout out to the subscribers and stuff outside of the country and stuff too. Really appreciate y'all. Thank you guys so much for helping me grow this channel and stuff. You know, still learning, still moving forward and stuff. Haven't been feeling the best here lately, so any prayers, you know, I would certainly appreciate. Thank you definitely for praying for the boss. Please pray for Naomi as she's struggling with a personal issue right now. She's having a pretty rough time, so but we're trying to get her some help and stuff like that. But listen, God bless America. God bless you and yours. We're praying for you. Thanks for praying for us. Love you, Lord. Love you, boss. Peace out.